Track storms to alert you first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3. Weather coverage you can count on.
Yeah, but thankfully no tornadoes here, but hey, that's not too far away.
No, not really at all. In fact, it's all from the same system. We were in that warm sector of it, but we got hit with the rain, of course, and some fog, which we will see once Mason City decides it wants to load on in, that a lot of it is starting to lift. Not so much for areas like Rochester. Even in Austin, we're still seeing some of the fog, but now we can see a little more of Mason City. Well, we could for a moment there, and Charles City, and that's where we've got a little bit more of the rain falling now. Some more active weather. It is helping to push things away, although Charles City still has a ways to go, only at a mile of visibility. You can see not too far away, Mason City at 10 miles. That is what we like to see when it comes to this map. Meanwhile, places like Decorah getting the blunt of it right now, 0 miles of visibility at half a mile in Rochester and Preston. That is why not all of us are under the dense fog advisory, but those of us who are will continue to see the fog slowly get better, especially as we get around midnight tonight. That's when that more active weather moves in, the winds start to pick up a little bit and helps disperse some of that dense fog. But boy, is it thick out there, especially in some spots in Rochester. It's downright dangerous, hard to see. Now, satellite and radar here shows where that active weather is starting to slip into Charles City as well, as we are part of this big spiral. We'll zoom into a few areas. I was watching this 35 corridor here between Albert Lee and Owatonna because we were starting to see a lot of that rain show up as more snowfall. This is about where the rain-snow line is. It is starting to incorporate some warmer air right now, which is turning back into rain for places like Blooming Prairie, but that wintry mix is still very much possible. As we go and take a look at what's going on in North Iowa, Mason City showing off a few sprinkles right now. We can find some heavier rain just to the west. And then once again, that rain-snow band that we got our eyes on. Watching the temperatures closely because most of us are still above that freezing point. Mankato right at it at 32 degrees. It tells you some cooler air is on the way. It's just taking its time to get here. Sky Tracker 3 does pick up eventually on a little bit more of that scattered snowfall chance heading our way, mainly sticking along 35 and then starting to break apart a bit as it heads in Tuesday morning. This is around 6 a.m. That being said, we all still see some chances for snowfall. It just starts to get a little bit less isolated to scattered chances, then ultimately isolated, and eventually the snow chances do exit out of the area with a few flurries possible throughout the rest of our Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Otherwise, a cloudy day. The same can be said as we get into Wednesday. All of this being said, though, for a morning commute, I still think we'll have iffy conditions, especially on untreated roadways and where we're actually seeing that active snow falling. All of us see a chance for it, but by the time we get into the afternoon, things are looking better, at least for now. Because as we head into Thursday, that's where we've got our eyes turned next, because a potential winter storm is on the way. Not necessarily shown here quite yet on our 7-day forecast, but you can see active snow is expected. We're still trying to nail down the exact track of this storm, as it's another tricky one coming in from the south, not to mention the precipitation type we're going to be seeing, as well as how much snow. But Tyler, as of right now, it's looking like it will most definitely be impactful.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much.